All right, Bobby Lee here with Hurricane Creek Farms. Going to do our kind of yearly wrap up for our stocker cattle. This year we had heifers as opposed to us doing steers mostly in the past. Um, but yeah, to break all this down, kind of tell you how we did this year. Did we make any money? I'll go ahead and I don't want to spoil it all, but yeah, this is not nearly as much fun doing it this year as it has been a few years in the past. But basically, yeah, this year we went with heifers instead of steers, basically because prices have gotten so high on cattle. Heifers just a little cheaper to buy. We'll talk about some of the issues that you know, kind of the negatives, maybe why that is later on. Hey, before I get in too deep, hey, y'all go to aggearstore.com, discount code Hurricane, 15% off. This is one of my favorite shirts of theirs. It's the polo, we got the pearl snaps, the pocket, can't beat it. Check out all the good stuff they've got. But, all right, to go ahead and dive into it. We purchased 42 heifers on April the 8th, paid $13.91 a pound for them. Let me reference my notes here. They were 574 pounds. So then kind of our whole goal idea with this is they're turning grass into beef. Grass is our commodity. We graze them for several months. I guess in this case, about 5 months, 5.5. Then sell them, make money off that weight they've gained. But just go kind of a breakdown, kind of our budget, everything we went through this year. So that, of course, that was our purchase price. Our feed / mineral cost, about $70 a head. Again, of course, these dollar figures are per head. You know, most of that's mineral. We did, you know, give them a little feed every day if you watch all our videos. You know, just keep them coming up easy to catch. Vet costs, that's our vaccines. We give a black leg and then a respiratory vaccine pretty much as soon as we get them. Deworm them, give them a dose of a metaphylactic dose of antibiotics, and also hit them with the therapies. We're a big believer in therapies as well. Again, you can go back and watch those videos if you want more details on that. Totaled out to only about $21 a head. LRP, that's our livestock risk protection insurance. Basically, it's our way of hedging. That is a subsidized insurance plan. That's one way the government does offer subsidies for cattle, but that was our cost per head. Then something that really ate us up this year, interest. We do purchase these cattle basically using a line of credit. Yeah, that number a lot bigger than it has been in the past. So money we had in them total $1,554 a head. Not too bad. You know, if I'm looking at where we could have saved a little money, yeah, probably just really looking at that interest. We always like that LRP to protect ourselves, you know, on the bottom side, having a floor. You know, vet cost, yeah, we're not going to really skimp there. You know, dead cattle don't bring very much money. Feed and mineral, yeah, actually feed is kind of one of those things that actually got cheaper as the year went on, just because commodity prices, you know, for corn, soybeans, all those sorts of things have gotten cheaper. So, did we make any money? Go ahead and ruin it for you. We did not this year. When we sold them, we got $1,541 a head. I will point out too that this purchase price, that includes hauling everything. That's how much money we had in them when they stepped off the trailer on our place. Same thing on the selling price. That's after we take out, again, hauling, you know, shipping them back to the auction, you know, commission, yardage, insurance, check off, all that goes into it. So this is our first time, and I think 5 years of doing this, that we haven't made money. And we made pretty decent money. I'd have to look back what the least was we've made in the past. But yeah, pretty humbling experience this year. Biggest problem was that these heifers just didn't gain weight, not like they should have. They only averaged, I think, 648 pounds when we sold them. Of course, we had a bigger group, bunch of them that averaged, I'd have to look, um, they were significantly bigger. They were like in the low sevens, and those heifers brought, over $1,700 a head, and you'd have made money on that group. But then once we averaged them all out, lost just a little money this year. New heifers wouldn't gain quite as good as steers, but we were pretty disappointed in that. They were like between 0.6 and 0.7 pounds per head per day. Not very good. That was consistent. My brother had a group, another buddy of ours had a group. We all bought and sold at the same time, all here in the same general area. So forages, the rainfall, temperature, weather was all very similar. We all had a very nearly identical rate of gain. Somewhere where we think we could do better there potentially, we're very fescue based. You see out here behind me the cow herd, a lot of primarily fescue out here. Fescue is great, super lush, more grass than we know what to do with in the spring for about 2 or 3 months. And then if we get rainfall, we kind of get into that again during the fall. So that leaves us, what they call that summer slump for fescue, where, forage quality is not that great. It's really hot. They're probably just not gaining much, if any, weight on those days, for a large part of the summer, which was a large part of when we had them. Just thinking about things to do different in the future. I know some people who they talk about they'll double stock them. They may run twice as many head just for that 3 or so months in the spring, then sell them. Not have anything out there during the summer when you really don't figure they're getting much gain anyway. Then maybe about this time of year they start buying them. That pasture's rested. Maybe they hit it with a little fertilizer, get some rain, boom, you got good fescue again to run in the fall. I don't know, just logistically, cattle is not my primary job. To twice a year have to bring in a group. Those first few weeks being sure nobody's sick. There's a lot of moving parts there. I don't know that just for personally our operation that would work, but that's an option. We are probably going to go back to steers now. Steers just gained better. We'd have definitely spent more money than that on equally sized steers, but they'd have brought more than that in the end, and they would have weighed more. They would have gained more than that, 0.6, 0.7 pounds a day. We get about twice that on the steers that we have in the past. Could have held on to them longer. Probably sitting there thinking, well, gosh, now we're getting into fall when you say your fescue is going to be better. A lot of factors went into us going ahead and selling them. And that grass is still out there. It's not like that grass is going to go to waste. We're going to take our weaned calves from here at home there pretty soon, here in the next month or 6 weeks. So we will be able to utilize that grass. We'll, right now, don't want to speak too soon, but our hay stock is in pretty good shape. If we get into early next year, into the winter, and still looking really good on hay, we may go ahead and start buying calves early for next year. Those have longer to gain. May can buy them a little lighter, so a little cheaper, or may buy them still around that 550 to 600 pounds. And those will be that much bigger when we sell them next fall, because we'll have had them longer. We had 0 death loss this year, which is both good and also scary. It's great. You don't ever want to lose any, but that just shows you, that number, we could have really lost some money had any of them died, stating the obvious. But, it's not the end of the world. We did have enough money. We got the check today, put it in the bank immediately, went ahead and made a transfer to pay off our line of credit. It was helped by the fact that we bought 42, we sold 52. We sold, we had some homegrown ones in there, but yeah, just cheat here and look at my notes. Yeah, it was a humbling experience. Most people in agriculture, you have some good years, you have some bad years. The bad years, you just kind of try to hold on. It wasn't a terrible market. We were actually really happy with the price we got. The barn we sell through, I'll give them a little shout out, Dixon Regional Livestock Center in Dixon, Tennessee. They brought really good money. even after we figured in, commission, haul, and everything from our sale price, we sold them at virtually the exact same price per pound we bought them at, which most years you'd say, well, heck yeah, because you're selling them a bigger animal, at the same price you bought them at. But it was just, they didn't gain enough weight, to put it quite simply. Yeah, I don't know, the summer did get hot. We didn't have hardly any rain in August. Forage quality definitely went down. Never ran out of grass, but we knew that they weren't gaining as good as they were in the spring, and that's going to be true pretty much every year with fescue. But yeah, just a little breakdown. Got any questions, drop them below. We're still relatively new at this. We're learning more every year. In a I guess fortunate situation where it's not my primary source of income. I'm not relying on making, good money on cattle to be able to put food on the table for my family. They literally do in some ways put food on my table because we keep a few to feed out every year. In fact, we're about to eat some tacos with some of our ground beef here in just a little while. But yeah, we're still gonna get to have Christmas this year. Y'all don't need to start a GoFundMe for us or anything like that. Hey, watching these videos, generate a little bit of YouTube income helps out too. But that's why we do encourage you to hit like and subscribe. Hey, using that discount code on Ag Gear helps us out just a little bit there too. But yeah, we're gonna get to do it again next year. We're probably just gonna do it with steers. On heifers, another thing we thought we could have done different, in hindsight. We could have sorted off maybe the top 20% or so to keep for replacements. We could have then bred and then sold as bred heifers, here in a few more months, but that's incurring a lot more cost, in terms of then we got to get a bull, and then we got to do pregnancy testing, then we're keeping them into the winter, so those feed costs go way up, when we're figuring on having to feed them hay and whatnot. So I don't know that we're, really looking to do that, but that would have been one potential option. You got a little more marketing flexibility with heifers, whereas of course a steer, he's got one purpose and one purpose only. But yeah, brief little breakdown. Appreciate y'all watching. For our regular viewers, this will be our only video this week because as you're watching this, I'm out in Wyoming, hopefully bringing home a bull elk, to also have in the freezer with our beef. So yeah, you don't have to feel too bad for us. Yeah, just didn't make any money on them this year. Thank goodness for our homegrown ones that helped us a little bit. Obviously they weren't free, even though we didn't have to actually purchase them. But yeah, we live and we learn. We'll make a few adjustments to what we do next year, and we'll keep on keeping on. Thank y'all. As always, remind y'all, eat beef and God bless.